Hey everybody, welcome back to Two Brothers Comics. It's Tuesday, so we're going to do a quick 2-minute history in comic books. Stay tuned. For this 2-minute Tuesday in comic book history, we're going to walk through the Comic Code of Authority, what it is, why it was founded, and what happened to it. Also, some of the rules that these publishers had to follow. Now, the Comic Code of Authority was founded in 1954 by the Comic Magazine Association of America. Now, this was done as an alternative to government regulations. Up until this point, teachers, mental health experts, churches, other civic groups all were against comic books. A lot of it boiled down to the immoral things kids were reading, such as the scantily clad women, violence, glorifying criminals, things like that is what they were afraid of. There were many hearings that took place publicly, but ultimately what happened in 1954, the Comic Magazine Association of America decided to create the Comic Code of Authority. Now, this wasn't a law. It was 100% voluntary. Publishers followed, although some publishers never actually used it, such as Dell, Western, Classics Illustrated. Publishers like that never actually abided by any of this. Now, if you really want to dig deep into this, go look up the psychiatrist Frederick Wortham's book, Seduction of the Innocent. This also played a lot into why the CCA was created. Basically what happened was if you were a comic book publisher and you participated, you would take your comic book, submit it to that association. They would basically deem it fit to be approved by the Comic Code of Authority, and you would get your stamp of approval. Now, this went on for quite some time, but ultimately by the early 2000s, it was dropped. Marvel dropped them in 2001. Really, there was only 3 comic book publishers up until 2010 that actually continued to use the CCA, and that was DC Comics, Archie Comics, and Bongo Comics. So now you know that if you ever hear a comic book collector looking for pre-code horror comics or pre-code comic books in general, they're meaning pre-Comic Code Authority books. Now, this issue goes a whole lot deeper. There's a whole lot more you can dig deep into it, from burning comic books to all the Senate hearings. This is a topic that you could literally spend hours and hours and hours of research on and really reading into it. But I wanted to give a quick 2 minutes. So let's check out some examples of what criteria comic book publishers had to meet in order to have their comic book approved by the Comic Code of Authority. Now, I'm going to read these, so that's why I'm looking down. Crime shall never be presented in such a way as to create sympathy for the criminal, to promote distrust of the forces of law and justice, or to inspire others with a desire to imitate criminals. Again, that was a very, very big argument during this whole time period in the creation of Comic Code authorities, is folks felt that it was glorifying criminals. Policemen, judges, government officials, and respected institutions shall never be presented in such a way as to create disrespect for established authority. This one's another interesting one. In every instance, good shall triumph over evil, and the criminal punished for his misdeeds. Fun fact here, no comic magazine shall use the words horror or terror in its title. All scenes of horror, excessive bloodshed, gory and gruesome crimes, depravity, lust, sadism shall not be permitted. Nudity in any form is prohibited, as is indecent or undue exposure. So here's one I don't think any artist could actually meet today. Female shall be drawn realistically without exaggeration of any physical qualities. There's a little bit of information on the Comic Code of Authority, kind of where it came from. Obviously, we don't use it today. It hasn't been around for about a decade for most publishers and almost 2 decades for Marvel Comics. They now follow their own rating systems, teen, mature, things like that we're all used to, fairly similar to movies. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I did get a couple of great suggestions on the last 2-minute Tuesday, and feel free to check that out at the link above. And if you will, drop me a comment down below and let me know what you would like to kind of learn a little bit more about. And if you're into unboxing, reviews, creator interviews, and a little bit of comic book history, please subscribe if you're into that kind of thing. It does help out quite a bit. And as always, guys, collect your way.